Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the Monument Guard as they take their post. Please stand and welcome the Honorable Salma Lakhani, Lieutenant Governor of Alberta, and His Honor Zahir Lakhani. Please remain standing for the Vice-Regal Salute. While we wait for the arrival of Alberta's police and peace officers, you're invited to take your seats. The parade this year is being led by members of the Calgary Police Service. In this year's ceremony, we have included a member of the Calgary Police Service carrying a CPS headdress. This action is dedicated to the memory of Sergeant Andrew Harnett, who was tragically killed in the line of duty in Calgary on December 31st, 2020. Sergeant Harnett's name has been added to the Pillar of Strength monument to the right of the stage. This monument now bears the names of 101 Alberta police and peace officers who have made the ultimate sacrifice for the people of this province. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as our officers take their places. Please remain standing and join in the singing of our national anthem led by the police choir. Please be seated. Dr. Miriam Mollering of the Calgary Police Service will now lead us in the opening prayer.
With recognition and respect that we come from various faith traditions and communities, I invite you in a manner which is comfortable for you to join your heart with mine as we pray. We gather today to honor and remember our officers who were selfless in service, courageous in conflict, and loyal in their commitment and their call to duty. Their bravery faced evil and stood with an inner strength and a courage against danger. We are forever grateful. And to their loved ones and families who shared in their calling and sacrificed in ways beyond what we will ever know, may they draw comfort today, knowing we continue to stand with them and support them. Together we are brokenhearted, but not broken. May the spirit of love and peace that has deep roots in this sacred land be with us today as we remember and honor those who held their positions, fulfilled their duties, and paid the ultimate sacrifice for causes greater than self. Amen.
Your Honors, Madam Deputy Speaker, Minister Madu, Chief Neufeld and Chiefs of Police, Constable Young, families of our fallen, all service members, friends, and those of you viewing our ceremony via live stream. Welcome to the 2021 Alberta Police and Peace Officers Memorial Day. My name's Aubrey Zalaski, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be your Master of Ceremonies for the 23rd Police and Peace Officers Memorial Day in Alberta. Every day, police and peace officers are dedicated to protecting us from harm and making sure help is there when we need it. And each day they report to duty, they do so selflessly for this higher cause, knowing full well the risk to themselves. This is a burden that their family, friends, and those around them also carry. Every time their loved one steps into the line of duty, their families hope they come home safely at the end of their shift. But we are reminded this year, in the most devastating way, that this is not always the case, as Sergeant Andrew Harnett was killed in the line of duty. We stand here today with even heavier hearts as we mourn his passing. We're grateful for his bravery and selflessness, along with the 100 Alberta police and peace officers who died in the line of duty since 1876. Each of them made the ultimate sacrifice while trying to protect others. And their deaths were not only devastating for their families, friends, and colleagues, but also a profound loss for society. Today, we also want to pay tribute to Jago, an RCMP police service dog who was killed in the line of duty near High Prairie, Alberta on June 17th, 2021. Police service dogs play an important role in the work that officers do, and it's difficult to lose a valuable member of the team. The ceremony this year may be smaller due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but wherever we are, we stand to show our respect and appreciation for the bravery and sacrifice of our fallen officers. It's an honor for me to be here with you today as we pay tribute together to these heroes. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to now invite the Honorable Salma Lakhani, Lieutenant Governor of Alberta, to provide opening remarks.
Thank you, Detective Zaleski. Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished guests, elected officials. I wish to begin by saying that we are gathered today on Treaty 6 territory, and that as treaty people, we acknowledge all our First People who have called this place home for thousands of years and who welcomed us here to make our own lives. May we always dwell together on these lands with respect and peace. I would also like to say that my husband Zahir and I are truly honored to be a part of this ceremony today and to join you in paying tribute to Alberta's fallen police and peace officers. This has been an extraordinary 18 months for all Albertans, but particularly for those who serve on the front lines, including our hard-working police and peace officers. I know that the ever-changing pandemic has demanded a great deal of flexibility, skill, and endurance to ensure that our uniformed services are always there for our Alberta communities. As Her Majesty the Queen's representative in Alberta, I offer my heartfelt thanks to you on behalf of all our citizens for the strength and the dedication you have brought to your duties throughout this extraordinary time. Policing has always been a career that requires a remarkable level of personal sacrifice and heart. Our brave police and peace officers are truly special people who put their own well-being on the line so that everyone in our communities can live in peace and safety. Tragically, that peace comes at a heavy cost, and there are times when those who have sworn to protect us give their lives in the line of duty. I know that my fellow Albertans feel each loss deeply, including the recent passing of distinguished Calgary police officer Sergeant Andrew Harnett, who was killed in the line of duty this past December. His sad and untimely death is a reminder of the very real risks that our police and peace officers assume every single day on our behalf. While we cannot bring our fallen heroes back, we must do everything possible to honor their memories, to preserve their legacies, and to care for the families and loved ones they leave behind. To Andrew's wife, Chelsea, and all of his family, friends, and colleagues, please know that Albertans are extremely grateful for everything that he gave to our province and our country throughout his career. We are heartbroken at his loss, and we will never forget him. I hope that this ceremony offers you some measure of peace and comfort. Our world is a better place because of his service and because of the sacrifices offered by each of the 101 fallen officers we are honoring today. We are truly fortunate to have had these heroes among us, even if it was for too short a time. Again, to all of the current serving police and peace officers across Alberta, please accept my deepest thanks for your essential service. Please be well and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And now I'd like to invite the Honorable Casey Madhu, Minister of Justice and Solicitor General.
Thank you, Detective Zaleski. It is a privilege for me to be here today and to speak in tribute to the officers who lost their lives while on duty. Every person who steps into the line of duty must take on daunting responsibilities, make tremendous sacrifices, and face great danger. The risks that come with being a police officer are there, even during seemingly ordinary parts of their job. We were all reminded of that fact in January when Sergeant Andrew Hannard, a 12-year veteran of the Calgary Police Service, a distinguished police officer, was killed during what should have been a routine traffic stop. Like everyone in the law enforcement community, I was stunned and saddened to hear of his death. And as a husband, a father, myself, and a son, I was heartbroken to think of the grief and loss his young family would now have to endure. Today, Sergeant Hannard's name joins those of the 100 other officers who laid down their lives while keeping their fellow Albertans safe. We owe Sergeant Hannard and all the fallen a debt of gratitude for their selfless commitment to the rule of law and the safety of our communities. It is the same gratitude and respect we feel towards all police and peace officers, past and present. It's never been an easy assignment, and in some ways, it's gotten even harder. And yet, no matter how stressful, or upsetting, or frustrating their job becomes, we rely on you to exhibit strength, calm, and bravery. To all of you who meet this extraordinary challenge every single day, you put on that uniform, we offer our sincerest thanks. And to all the families and friends, of the fallen, we stand with you in your sadness and grief. Our thoughts and prayers are always with all of you. May God bless them, and may God bless you, and may God bless your families, and may God bless this extraordinary province we call home. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Minister Madu. Our next speaker is Calgary Police Chief Mark Neufeld, representing the Alberta Association of Chiefs of Police.
Thanks, Aubrey. Thanks, Aubrey. On behalf of the Alberta Association of Chiefs of Police, thank you to Your Honor, Lieutenant Governor of Alberta, Minister Madu, the Deputy Speaker, for your support and acknowledgement of the sacrifices made by the men and women who serve our province in the roles of police and peace officer. Special welcome to the families, friends, and colleagues of those who have fallen. We are all touched by tragic events that involve a loss of life of a police or peace officer, but we understand that no one is touched more personally or more practically than those closest to these heroes. Police and Peace Officer Memorial Day is always a somber occasion and an opportunity for quiet reflection. This year, there is added emotion and significance as has been said, the Calgary Police Service continues to mourn the loss of our Sergeant Andrew Harnett just 9 months ago. Andrew's death came amidst of what we've already heard has been a challenging year in policing, given the impacts of a global pandemic and some pointed public discourse that has left some wondering whether the work police and peace officers do is sufficiently understood or sufficiently valued by the citizens we serve. I can say without equivocation that in Calgary, following the murder of Sergeant Harnett, we witnessed an outpouring of support and encouragement that none of us will ever forget. Calgarians lit their home with blue lights. They lined our streets with blue ribbons, and they stood for hours on chilly roadsides and flooded our offices across the city with cards, flowers, and signs of support. In our time of mourning, the people of Calgary mourned too, lifting us up when we needed it most. In our time of loss, our community came together to show us and Andrew's family that his sacrifice mattered, that the work that he did mattered, and the work that all of you do matters. They showed us that they appreciate their police service, and like us, they do not forget those who make the ultimate sacrifice in service of others. And I know too that the Edmonton Police Service and the RCMP experienced that same tremendous outpouring of support and encouragement when they mourned the deaths of Constable Daniel Woodall and Constable David Wynn in 2015. Together, as we gather to remember our friends, family members, and colleagues who died serving their communities as police officers, bylaw officers, park wardens, park rangers, resource officers, or correctional officers, we know we don't mourn alone. 101 in all, these men and women lost their lives upholding the rule of law and helping citizens when they needed it most. As we reflect today on the fallen and their sacrifices, we should not be left with only feelings of sadness. We must never overlook the good examples that they've set, their selfless dedication to the service of others, and the positive differences they've made in the lives of so many. We should be proud to have served with them and like them, and we should boldly renew our own personal commitments to carry on with the important work that they have started. The legacy they have left is for us to continue as we serve our communities with the same courage, pride, and integrity that each of them is well known for. So we will remember them, and we will be proud, each and every one of them. And not just during this day or the anniversaries of their deaths, but every day, perhaps in a quiet reflection, as we put on our uniforms and go into our communities, or maybe as we take them off at the end of the day. Even when there are challenges, and it's hard, and perhaps especially because there's challenges, and it's hard. To the families of those we have lost, we love you and we mourn with you still. We will never forget the sacrifices made by your loved ones or by you. We commit to working daily, continuing to bring honor to the uniforms they wore, the ideals they stood for, and the ideals that you loved them for. To the people of Alberta, thank you for remembering with us, and we ask that you continue to do so. These men and women lost their lives in service to you. By remembering, you not only honor them, but every woman and man, every daughter and son, every sister and brother, every police and peace officer who willingly puts themselves in harm's way to serve you and to protect you. Words do not sufficiently convey how much your support means to each and every one of those families and each and every one of us. The price that has been paid by the 101 whose name appear on this pillar to my left has been exceptionally steep. It is a debt that can't be repaid, but then no one really expects it to be. By honoring the fallen and supporting those who continue to do such incredibly important work in our communities, we tangibly demonstrate that though much has been lost, none of these losses will ever be in vain. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Neufeld. I would like to now call upon Constable Chris Young to speak on behalf of the Alberta Federation of Police Associations.
Thank you. Honored guests, brothers and sisters in policing and law enforcement, and the family and friends of our fallen, including Chelsea, McCoy, and the Harnett family. Today we honor a friend and colleague of mine, Sergeant Andrew Harnett, as well as all our fallen. Andrew tragically died on December 31st, 2020. Good afternoon. My name is Constable Chris Young. I am the president of the Alberta Federation of Police Associations, representing our 4,500 plus police members serving in Alberta. Today is a day of reflection and remembrance of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for the safety of our citizens and our communities. This is an important day, and a person who truly saw the importance of this day was my friend Andrew Harnett. I had the privilege and honor of marching in our nation's capital during the police memorial with Andrew 5 years ago. At that time, Andrew shared with me that the police memorial and Remembrance Day were special, reverent days that he personally honored and respected. Andrew believed that it is so important to remember those who have given everything. The profession of policing is truly a calling. It is a job where officers risk their own personal safety and well-being for people they have never met. It is one where officers say goodnight to their families, and they know that it is a possibility that they may not come home at the end of their shift. Officers serve everyone, even those that do not support the police. The police come when called, no matter what. Our members are a special kind of people who truly work hard to make a difference every day. The names of our fallen are on the pillar of strength. Our fallen truly are our strength. Our members honor their sacrifice by continuing to answer the call to serve and to protect. To the fallen, we thank them for everything they sacrificed to make our world a safer and better place. We love and miss them all very much. To Chelsea and the family and friends of our fallen, we feel and share your loss, and we have not forgotten you. You are part of our Blue family, and you have our support and gratitude. To my brothers and sisters, thank you for what you do every day. We have never been more proud of you. I have never been more proud of you, and I am very honored to be your president. I want to thank Andrew. I am so grateful to have known him, and I am honored to have served with him. We will never forget Andrew, and we will never forget our brave fallen brothers and sisters. Thank you.
Thank you, Constable Young. In a moment, you will hear the names of the 101 officers who have died in the line of duty, who made the ultimate sacrifice to keep us safe. At this time, I will ask Sergeant Andrew Hobson of the RCMP and Sheriff Julianne Gagnon of the Alberta Sheriffs to read the name of the fallen officers. I will also ask everyone present to please rise and honor these men and women and their families.
Sub-Constable John Nash, Constable Marmaduke Grayburn, Constable Claudius S. Hooley, Recruit Constable Adam Wall, all of the Northwest Mounted Police.
Constable Alfred Perry, Northwest Mounted Police. Constable William Tyrell Reading, Northwest Mounted Police. Constable James Heron, Northwest Mounted Police. Sergeant William Brock Wild, Northwest Mounted Police.
Staff Sergeant Arthur F.M. Brooke, Northwest Mounted Police. Constable George Ernest Wilmette, Royal Northwest Mounted Police. Deputy Warden Richard Stedman, Alberta Penitentiary. Constable Francis Walter Davies, Royal Northwest Mounted Police.
Constable Robert George McIntosh, Canadian Pacific Police Service. Corporal Maxwell George Bailey, Royal Northwest Mounted Police. Sergeant Paul Smith, Lethbridge Police. Constable Arthur Sandy Duncan, Calgary Police.
Constable Frank Beavers, Edmonton Police. Staff Sergeant George Henry Leopold Bossange, Royal Northwest Mounted Police. Constable William Nixon, Edmonton Police. Constable Frederick W.E. Bailey, Alberta Provincial Police.
Corporal Ernest Usher, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Special Constable Nick Kislick, Alberta Provincial Police. Constable Frank Henry Sissons, Alberta Provincial Police. Constable Stephen Oldacres Lawson, Alberta Provincial Police.
Constable George Edward Osgood, Alberta Provincial Police. Constable Charles Nicolay Paris, Drumheller Police. Park Warden Andrew Bauer, Parks Canada. Park Warden Percy Hamilton Goodare, Parks Canada.
Inspector Joseph Carruthers, Calgary Police. Corporal Michael Moriarty, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable George Campbell Harrison, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Sergeant Thomas Sellar Wallace, Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Constable Frederick Gordon Frank Council, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Wilfred James Cox, Calgary Police. Constable Gordon E. Bonduran, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Wilfred James Cobble, Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Forest Ranger and Game Guardian Jacob Howard Pegg, Department of Lands and Mines. Constable George Vaughn, Edmonton Police. Constable Herschel Taylor Wood, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Park Warden Robert Jones, Parks Canada.
Constable George Donnelly, Edmonton Police. Constable Roy Alden Laird, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable David Romano, Edmonton Police. Constable Kenneth John Delmage, Calgary Police.
Sergeant Malcolm G.F. Jack, Edmonton Police. Constable Joseph Thompson, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable James Walter Foreman, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Calvin Lamont Byam, Lethbridge Police.
Constable Gordon Donald Pearson, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Corporal Donald Archibald Harvey, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Robert William Varney, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Park Warden Robert Marek, Parks Canada.
Park Warden James Brink, Parks Canada. Detective Boyd Davidson, Calgary Police. Staff Sergeant Alan Keith Harrison, Calgary Police. Correctional Officer Conrad E. Coons, Alberta Solicitor General.
Constable Dennis M. N. Schwikowski, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable William Vasily Shaliver, Calgary Police. Park Warden Neil Michael Colgan, Parks Canada. Constable Richard John Segwick, Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Forester James Brian Mason, Alberta Energy and Natural Resources. Forest Officer Roger Norman Oneski, Alberta Energy and Natural Resources. Constable Alan Gary Giesbrecht, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Corporal Bud Maurice Johansson, Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Auxiliary Constable Frederick A. Abel, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Scott G. Berry, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Special Constable Gordon Zygmunt Kowalczyk, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Forest Officer 3 Don Lalonde, Alberta Department of Forestry, Lands and Wildlife.
Special Constable Nancy Putkemery, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Special Constable Vincent Norman Timms, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Ezio Ferrone, Edmonton Police. Constable Robert John Vanderweel, Calgary Police.
Park Warden Patrick Donald Sheehan, Parks Canada. Constable Brent Harold Viefkind, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Richard Sonnenberg, Calgary Police. Park Warden Simon Parbuzing, Parks Canada.
Forester Gordon William Brown, Alberta Environmental Protection. Forest Officer 2 Daniel Warren Brink, Alberta Environmental Protection. Corporal Graham Charles Cumming, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Noel Sade, Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Constable Johnny Petropoulos, Calgary Police. Senior Ranger John H.T. Graham, Alberta Sustainable Resource Development. Constable Darren L. Beatty, Calgary Police. Park Warden Michael Wynn, Parks Canada.
Constable Christine Diot, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Superintendent Dennis Massey, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Ghislain Maurice, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Corporal Stephen Gibson, Military Police. Corporal James Wilbert Gregson Galloway, Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Constable Peter Christopher Sheeman, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Leonide Nicholas Johnston, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Anthony Fitzgerald Orion Gordon, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Brock Warren Myrall, Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Constable Jose Manuel Agostino, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Corporal Randy Payne, Military Police. Constable James Lundblad, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Chelsea Alice Robinson, Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Community Peace Officer Ronnie Francis Lazenby, Municipal District of Foothills. Constable David Matthew Wynn, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Constable Daniel Woodall, Edmonton Police. And Sergeant Andrew Glenn Harnett, Calgary Police.
I would ask that you please remain standing for the playing of Last Post, the moment of silence, and the Piper's Lament. Our ceremony will now continue with the laying of the wreaths. You may be seated. I'm honored to call upon Ms. Chelsea Goddard, widow of Sergeant Andrew Harnett, along with Constable Wade Jablonski, to lay the first wreath on behalf of the families of all fallen police and peace officers. I now invite the Honorable Selma Lakhani, Lieutenant Governor of Alberta, to lay a wreath. This year, 14 wreaths have been laid before the ceremony, which represent the Government of Alberta, the Legislative Assembly of Alberta, the official opposition, RCMP K Division, Alberta Association of Chiefs of Police, First Nations Chiefs of Police Association, Alberta Federation of Police Associations, Military Police, Correctional Service of Canada, Alberta Association of Community Peace Officers, Edmonton Police Service Veterans Association, RCMP Veterans Association, RCMP Forensic Laboratory, and the Calgary Police Veterans Association. The piper and drums will now play Amazing Grace. I now ask you all to please stand as Dr. Miriam Mollering leads us in the closing prayer.
Today we have stood with hearts united with gratitude as we salute our fallen members, who were pillars of strength, protectors of freedom, with an undeniable compassion and regard for the safety of others in their call to duty. And to those who stand before us in uniform, they represent hundreds of men and women from a diversity of backgrounds, cultures, and traditions, who are defenders of the weak, protectors of the innocent, and for you, we are forever grateful. Many voices seek to destroy and divide, so we pray that our law enforcement members may be given sustaining courage to face opposition, strength to overcome challenges, kindness and resilience in the face of adversity, and dignity and respect in the face of hostility. We have hope for our tomorrows because of these brave men and women who are caretakers of the citizens, communities, and agencies in which they serve. And to those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, while the loss is unbearable, our gratitude is unending. In the words of Chief Dan George from the Tsleil-Waututh First Nation, may the stars carry your sadness. May the flowers fill your heart with beauty. May hope forever wipe away your tears. And so today, we remember them, for it is our solemn duty. Amen.
Please remain standing for the singing of God Save the Queen.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save the Queen, sent her victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the Queen.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the table in front of the dais, you will see a number of hats, referred to as headdresses. These headdresses collectively represent the fallen members of all Alberta's law enforcement services. In a moment, the assembled police and peace officers will salute the fallen members as they march off and pass the stage and the table with the headdresses. The Lieutenant Governor will return the salute on behalf of the fallen members. Please stand and remain standing at your seats for the march past. The Bronze Dove ceremony for Sergeant Harnett will be taking place at the Pillar of Strength immediately following the conclusion of the formal portion of this ceremony. We're asking those who have joined us in person today not to approach the area until the Dove presentation has concluded and the rifle party has been dismissed. I would like to conclude by thanking the Calgary Police Service and the Sergeant Majors of Alberta's police and peace officer organizations for making this event possible amid the immense challenges posed by the ongoing pandemic. To everyone viewing us on live stream, thank you for taking the time, wherever you are, to remember our fallen police and peace officers. On behalf of the many organizers, thank you for taking part in this ceremony.